Would have helped if I didn't laugh halfway through.
Oh, well... Overlay it with some screaming and... Well, whose teeth are we... You could pull a dog's teeth. They must pull dog's teeth.
Yeah, I imagine if they get infected or like they get broken or something, yeah.
Yeah, you just pull it out. Oh. For some reason, the image of ripping a tooth out of a dog is much worse than ripping the tooth out of a child.
Doing anything to an animal is way worse than doing it to a person.
Well,
I think.
Well, I mean, what? Everyone goes to the Holocaust, right? But if there was a dog Holocaust, which there pretty much is, if a dog hasn't got an owner, they just put it in an incinerator.
Yeah.
And just cook it to death. Not cook it to death.
Mind you, we lead cows into a shed of death every day.
Yeah, and nobody then gives a fuck. I don't care.
Alright, domesticated though.
Oh, beef. Hang on.
Pets.
There's something about beef. So, a country has banned smoking, right?
And that's got something to do with beef.
Yeah, it does.
Alright.
Right, because smoking is down as something that causes cancer. Apparently,
like beef.
Apparently, sausages, bacon, and ham have been linked to causing cancer, like by the NHS or somebody.
Right.
So this angry article that I found was like, if you've banned smoking inside, then you have to ban sausages inside. Because it's a carcinogen or it's a something that causes cancer. So how can you cause one and not the other?
Sausages aren't airborne. Like,
that's the obvious thing.
they don't. Sausages don't linger.
Like, have you not
they
thought
don't
of this?
stick to your curtains.
Like, I mean, maybe they were talking about the country that made smoking illegal,
right?
Which is a real country. Okay, so I quickly looked up what country made tobacco illegal, and it's Turkmenistan.
Oh, right.
Which I didn't know was real. I thought, isn't Turkey Turkmenistan? That doesn't sound like a real place. I mean, I've heard it, but it's like Kazakhstan. I don't know if Kazakhstan's real. It's just from where Borat's from.
Yeah, it sounds like just diarrhea medicine, which is a horrible thing to say about someone's country, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a weird flag. Yeah, at the end of the day, what is their national anthem like? You don't see them at the football.
It's just the poo emoji.
Yeah, we were years ahead.
Yeah,
we came up with the shit emoji when we started our country.
Got eyes on it and everything.
Yeah, but yeah, they've banned tobacco, the sale of tobacco products. So not actually smoking, but you can't buy any cigarettes in Turkmenistan. And yeah, people are saying that if you're going to ban that and make that illegal, then you've got to make sausages, bacon, and ham illegal. Which is like, I understand there is a point about it's going to give you. Say it was 100% true that it did give you cancer. It's like, well, what do you want? I mean, you can tell people it gives them cancer, but they can still smoke it or eat it. Yeah. This is how the country currently is. It's like, well, you're smoking, so it's got a big fucking sign on it that says you're gonna die, and people still smoke. Yeah. So just put them on sausages. You know, it'll change the Walls advert from that weird dog in the 90s that used to go sausages, Walls. So now sausages, you know, lymphoma.
Yeah.
It's like a really culturally aware dog. But yeah, so we lead all these cows to slaughter and nobody gives a fuck, and we kill pigs and eat pigs and get cancer from it, and we don't give a fuck, so... Yeah, what that came from? That came from dog dentists ripping out teeth.
Yeah, I'd rather... I don't know, I'd rather it was a person.
Yeah, but I love dogs, don't get me wrong. You could rip out a cat's teeth. You see, in my head...
The thing is, though, you can explain it to a person. If a dog's in pain...
the dog doesn't know why.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily want you to rip its tooth out. Because its tooth hurts. All it knows is its tooth hurts, and then you ripped its face off, you ripped its part of its fucking jaw out. With a person, you can be, that's what was causing the pain.
Yeah, my dog would eat her own skin towards the end of her life, and it was just like, stop doing that, please. And she'd be like, I don't give a fuck.
What, like she shave it off like Dynamite? Like,
no, she just I don't know how, but she'd just give herself road rash without going out the house.
Yeah, our old dog was allergic to the carpet. But it wasn't like for his whole life. It was for like the last couple of years of his life. So he could only go in the garage and the kitchen and outside.
Just away from family.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't go in the lounge.
Jesus.
He used to just put like stools up, and because you know where the breakfast bar is in our house.
Yeah.
The gap between there and the wall. We just put stools up there, and he'd just kind of sit with his head on the stool, just like really pissed off. But if he walked around a carpet for too long, he wouldn't get sores, but his feet would get itchy, and he'd chew them until they were raw.
Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, it's just they don't know any better. They just decide
it's like
to
you
hurt
can't
themselves.
just be like, stop. We bought him little shoes, and he'd just like, nah, fuck that, and just kept taking them off.
Take it off. You learn how to untie laces and everything.
Yeah.
He's a very clever but self-destructive dog.
Yeah.
I'm still on the verge of getting a dog, man. Like,
Yeah.
there's something about
You got the floor space
companionship.
now.
Yeah, I've actually cleaned. And there's actually things going. Although when I did clean, I thought everything's managed now, and then my guitar ripped itself off from the wall.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, it was just gravity.
So you just left it there?
Yeah, it happened last night. I'm not going to do anything about it now.
It's like a crime scene.
Chalk outline on my shit guitar that's just smashed on the floor. Well, I don't want to pick it up because then you have to pick up everything. The whole thing, like, look, right, so...
Right.
It's something... the best way I've decided to describe depression, right, is a fuse went, turning off all the lights downstairs, right, and I just lived in darkness for a week because I couldn't be asked to open up the fuse box.
Did you have to change the fuse or just switch it back on?
Just switch it back on. And I knew this. I knew, like, this has happened before. All I've got to do is open up that cupboard and do it. And you walk directly past the fuse box going to the kitchen, and I would just struggle finding things in the kitchen with a torch, rather than just flip the switch. Your brain just doesn't give a fuck. It's just darkness. It's not going to do anything. I mean, living in darkness for your whole day is probably not good for your health, but...
No, it's not.
Not really, no, especially in front of a computer screen.
Yeah.
Just burning through your retinas.
Yeah.
Maybe in this imaginary land, I'm somebody. Like, no. But yeah, you just can't be asked to do anything. So, like, there's a part of me that just never wants to pick up that guitar. But I'm just going to have to overcome that hurdle. Or hurdle over it.
What if I pick it up?
No, you can fuck off. Because then every time I see it, I'm just like, fucking Steve with his fucking tidy.
Sorry, I didn't say I was going to refix it to the fucking wall for you.
Well, every time I walk past on the wall, on the fucking floor, then I just be like,
Pick it up and lean it in the corner next to your other one.
No, fuck off. No, I'm going to start being an adult now. I'm going to start picking up things and not being absolutely destructively lazy. I'm going to clean things. Like, I didn't know you had to clean the bottom of a toilet.
Yeah.
You know, like underneath, not inside the toilet, underneath on the outside.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you piss like all over there. Like piss comes out as like a fine mist as well as just like the stream.
You just don't want your toilet to smell of piss.
No, I just don't want piss all over my bathroom.
It's not on the toilet.
So?
You're going to piss in the toilet. If it was... You piss everywhere.
Yeah, but
people
by
piss
that,
in the shower. You don't wash your shower.
by that assumption, there's never any good reason to wipe your arse.
No, because that causes medical problems, right? There's a reason why you clean your
lingering piss.
arse. Like what?
I don't know, lymphoma.
I've never had to. I've never had to justify
I've
this
never
to
gone
anyone
so
before.
far as for it to cause a problem.
No, but it's not. I think personally, I think people just look at it as a cosmetic thing. They just don't like piss everywhere.
Well, there is that.
But who cares?
Yeah.
That's where you piss. Yeah, exactly, man. Fight the power. No, but who cares if there's piss on your toilet? It's where you piss. If you shit on the floor, and there's shit on the floor, it's just there's shit on the floor. It's where you shit.
I'm not with you on this one.
Well, you're just fucking fussy, aren't you? That's all it is. I'm more natural, more
That's
more
why
with it, man.
I'm
Yeah.
fussy for not wanting piss and shit everywhere.
Yeah. It's only in the toilet. It's in the bathroom area, man. I don't understand the justification. Well, anyway, look, I didn't know you had to clean the underside, outside of a toilet before.
Right, okay.
Because it was just, well, when are you lying on the bathroom floor? I don't understand. Like, I'm tall. I'm 6'4", so like I don't know if you know this, but I'm 6'4", and I don't see that. I've never seen the bottom of a toilet because I've never like fallen over in the bathroom. So I just never thought to clean it. So I didn't know you had to clean it. Like, do you have to clean your shower head?
Yes,
I mean,
no.
you cough into your shower head, you sneeze into your shower head, and the mist of your head goes in the shower head. So why don't you fucking clean your shower head?
I would say you probably should clean your shower head, but like mostly you clean it out because like it collects like limescale and blocks up all the holes, so it just gets useless if you don't clean it properly.
No, so there might be a practical reason for that, but not for. Anyway, new Nick, right?
All right.
Less piss everywhere. And more floor and things where things go. I think just like I've got a dishwasher now, so it's just that extra effort, that horrible effort I have to put in. Of like, I finished eating my badly cooked meal, and I'm going to put it in a dishwasher. What's today? Jam and cornflakes. Blended together with gone-off UHT milk.
Oh. Please tell me that's not real.
I don't know. It was dark in the kitchen. I didn't know what I was cooking. Couldn't be asked to turn the fuse on.
If it was anyone else, I wouldn't even have to ask if that was real or not. But with you, I'm never quite sure.
It's 'cause I'm classy. I'm not. It's just that I just don't care. It's just if it's food, I'll eat it.
Yeah.
So if I've just got nothing in the fridge, then I'll just eat whatever I can find in the house somewhere. Because at uni, I ate an onion.
Yeah,
that was dinner. It was just like,
You didn't just eat an onion. You ate a goblet of onion that was
was it?
permanently in the fridge.
No, that was for extra. That was for snacking.
Oh,
One time for dinner, I just ate an onion like an apple. Yeah,
full of onion. Yeah,
and cooking. Yeah, I like onion. Onion's good.
It's also the place where we kept the soap.
Yeah, and the shoe.
Yeah, the shoe.
And the construction equipment.
Yeah.
whatever we found.
Yeah.
We'll just put it in the fridge. It'll last longer.
Yeah, that's what it does. Yeah, and then you criticise me for putting bread in there.
Yeah, well, that bread's got moisture in it. It's going to go mouldy, you prick. You put crisps in the fridge.
It makes them crunchier.
Right, I'm sure it might, but you can't have a go at me for putting shoes
I like
in the
crunch.
fridge.
Yeah, because I eat
well.
shoes.
Well, you wear shoes. Shoes are crispy.
I mean, cold shoes?
Yeah, on a hot day, nothing better than maybe they're ice skates. Ice skating slippers, baby.
No.
Don't limit yourself. You think you're in Inception or something?
No, I'm such a close-minded fool for not wanting my footwear in the fridge.
Children. It's probably good for your feet, isn't it? I mean, they've got those vents in them to cool your feet down. What better than, to help defrost your feet?
I don't want my milk tasting like feet.
It's in a bottle. You don't keep your milk loose in the fridge.
Maybe you don't.
No.
I've got a milk reservoir in my fridge.
It's just a reservoir puddle.
Yeah.
A puddle of milk.
Puddle of milk.
Made from
PG version of that other band, Puddle of Mud.
Oh, right. She kind of likes me. La 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 la. They're a good band, man. Like, they had
Apparently
a few decent
he's
albums.
fucking mental.
Well, they did like a
guy.
covers album, I think,
Did
quite
they?
recently. They did Gimme Shelter, which a lot of bands try and do, and it all kind of sounds okay, but the original's just really good. And I'm not even like, the original's fucking awesome. It's just it's got its own sound.
Yeah.
Like Corey Taylor did it as in Stone Sour with Chrissy Hale from Hailstorm.
Yes, yeah.
Did a cover of Gimme Shelter. It's like, oh yeah, kind of good, but it's
Lizzie
a different
Hale.
song. Lizzie Hale?
Yeah.
Lizzie Hale. Anyway, so from pulling dogs' teeth to cigarettes in Turkmenistan being illegal,
Yeah.
to should be... I mean, sausages can't be illegal.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad about comparing that country to diarrhea medicine, to be honest.
You can regret.
I'm going to take that back.
Oh, yeah. What is it like then?
Antidepressants.
Oh, okay, cool. It's kind of numb.
Yeah.
Numb and overrated or something? I don't know.
I don't know if it's overrated. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know. Like, it's just...
Turkmenistan. Say what you like. Fucking overrated country.
No, the thing...
Banning sausages? What are they talking about?
I can't remember whether I fucking said it on the podcast or not, but the way that antidepressants work, I've heard, is that it just tunnels your emotional experience of the whole life. So, like, the benefit is your lows are no longer as low.
Right.
Like, it heightens your lows
Yeah.
to make them less bad.
And lowers your
But
highs.
it lowers your highs.
Right.
Which I don't know what the fucking chemical for that is.
No.
What herb
So
do you
it's-
eat to limit your experience of life? That's all fucking medicines are. It's just a fucking plant that's been ground up.
It's all chemistry, and that's all kind of natural stuff.
Well, it's all got to be eventually,
It'll
isn't
come from something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what audio compression is. It picks up the lows and it lowers the highs, and it gets it all on like an even keel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Zoloft. Now
Zoloft.
for podcasts.
Yeah.
Right, so, onto a bit of news. I'm not sure how relevant this was. Oh, this was actually an article that I found as soon as we finished recording the last podcast, because we were talking about him. So, 2 senior North Korean officials were executed with an anti-aircraft gun in early August on the orders of Kim Jong-un.
Bit strong.
Bit strong. I mean, you have to... It can kill a plane. It can take something from the sky. The Lord of the Sky. Ri Yong-jin, a senior official in the Education Ministry, possibly minister, I mean, they don't know apparently, was arrested for dozing off during a meeting with Kim and charged with corruption before being killed. He's fallen asleep, therefore he's corrupt. Therefore, shoot him with a fucking cannon.
He's fallen asleep. Fetch me the gun that we used to kill Biggles.
I mean, it's just fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Just that fucking bastard boy king guy. He's just looking for any excuse to...
Joffrey.
Joffrey, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just... I wonder what it'd be like to shoot someone with an anti-aircraft gun. You look tired. Play a lullaby. Someone play a lullaby and was shooting for the fucking cannon.
There's a guy that showed up, last week, I think, and that he's been presumed dead for like 12 years, and he was an American tourist who was just going around Korea, and Kim Jong-un just took him to teach him English. He's just like walking around the rice paddies, and he's like, "That one, I want that one." And now this guy's like, yeah, he's kidnapped and taken back to South Korea. Now he's got like a family there and shit. It's just,
I don't know why, but I assumed it wasn't his choice. The whole thing.
No, it wasn't.
He might have
was kept there. Like he was.
No, but like even the family wasn't his choice. It was just
here is your family.
Just led into a room. It's like, this is your new life. You will see me tomorrow at 9, and fix my broken English accent.
Yeah. Hello, father. What?
Oh my god, they're ripping out the dog's teeth. Oh, don't worry. But it's weird how it's different to babies, right?
Yeah, sorry, carry on, I interrupted.
No, fine. He was, and another person was purged over a proposed project seen as direct challenge to Kim's leadership. What kind of art project or whatever construction project is trying to overthrow me, this bastard? Kim has carried out...
I disagree with this macaroni artwork.
this macaroni artwork is trying to kill me.
Look, I'm not smiling.
There's no fucking glitter on this. Hey, Minus! Try shot in the face!
Get in the cannon!
Or at least try to get your face in the cannon.
Okay.
Alright, how about next we shoot someone out of an anti-aircraft gun into someone. See what worlds will collide. It says, Kim has carried out a series of executions since taking power in 2011 after his father's death, as he puts his mark on the leadership of the isolated nuclear-armed nation. The most high-profile was the killing 3 years ago of his uncle and one-time deputy, Jang Song-thaek. He had about 50 officials executed in 2014 on charges ranging from graft to watching South Korean soap operas.
Jesus.
Brand loyalty.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking watch anything from over the border.
South Korean? South?
Hang on.
Get in the gun.
Did you... Did you say Sindian, Tim? That's the South Korean version of that show. As is Mindian Nim. Kill him.
What kind of name is Nim? Don't question the names.
It's just a fucking weird world, man. There's kind of stuff still happening. And it's not like there's footage of any of this. Like, there's a whole media blackout over there. We don't read their newspapers or anything. I imagine you might be able to, but...
Well, people spend years trying to escape from that country.
Well, 14 years just for being able to speep English.
Yeah.
That guy, give him the family.
Remember Google Maps, published a load of overhead footage last year or the year before or something, of, all their prison camps. Fucking loads of them.
Yeah, because like some family members had escaped over the border and they wanted to find their family members who had been merged into North Korean society or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a fucking weird place.
Yeah.
On to lighter news. Self-styled dating and relationship expert Dan Bacon offers his solutions to this problem in a blog entitled How to Talk to a Woman Who is Wearing Headphones. The article on his website, The Modern Man, is packed with tips for would-be Romeos/pickup artists on how to make a woman remove her headphones before getting her to succumb to their charm. And it's a brilliant system. Brilliant five-step plan to get a woman to take her earphones out so that you can seduce her. Number 1, stand in front of her. Very important.
Yeah.
With 1 to 1.5 meters between you. So pretty close, but not too close. But meters not that
Just right.
far away. Just right, perfect. 2, have a confident, easygoing smile. So don't growl. Don't have your mouth wide open. Just, smile easily, but going, and confidently. 3, if she hasn't already looked up at you, I mean, she probably would, just stood there smiling, simply get her attention with a wave of your hand. Wave your hand in her direct line of vision so she can see it. So don't wave behind you. Don't wave politely. Just put it right in her vision. Just lean into it with that big, easygoing smile. Number 4, when she looks at you, smile and point to her headphones and say, take off your headphones for a minute. And pretend to be taking headphones off your head so that she fully understands what you're saying. If she doesn't understand, in brackets, most women will, simply gesture that you want to talk to her by briefly pointing back and forth from you to her and say, I want to talk to you for a minute. In most cases, you won't have to go to that extreme, but some girls are shy and will be hesitant to take the headphones off right away because they're feeling a lot of nervousness and excitement about what is happening.
Excited?
I'm going to take my headphones
Really
off in a minute. This would be pretty cool. Number 5, and the final step. Then do what we call acknowledging the awkwardness by quickly mentioning something about the awkwardness of the moment. See the conversation example below. To demonstrate you understand that approaching a woman in this way isn't the most common of experiences for either party. This helps put her at ease and know that you are a cool guy who she can relax and open up to.
Is this a flirting thing?
Yeah, apparently.
Where the fuck have you found this, and what were you looking for?
Apparently the internet got really pissed off, basically. So, like, the article was, Twitter's gone mad at this guy's advice and, like, belittled them and given them loads of hatred and stuff.
Right.
Because it's really patronising to women or whatever. What was the article?
Patronising to women?
Well, yeah, because apparently...
Patronising to anyone who doesn't know how to get someone to take their fucking headphones off.
Who doesn't know to smile at someone if you want them to acknowledge you and maybe do something with you.
I like this whole thing. It's like he's doing a smile and a wave, and then he like does the motion of like the back and forth, like to get to talk. And then,
I mean, he
and
said,
she
"Can I
does it,
take
and
my
she's
headphones
like,
off?"
Yes, and like in a really like positive way, and he's like, "There's a bus."
It's coming for you. Keanu Reeves is driving it. I don't think he can slow down. But it's just one who needs a fucking guide like this, especially when step 3 is like, ask them to take their headphones off. I never thought of that.
No.
Never thought of it before. But there are loads of people tweeting stuff like, don't talk to a woman who's got her headphones in. You know, as in the situation of... Because obviously this can be used by creepy people who don't understand social cues and will just keep on bugging someone who's trying to ignore them and avoid eye contact and just ignore them, block out all the noise. But because, I mean, creepy people...
I've been known to walk around with headphones playing nothing just to get people to leave me alone.
Well,
it's good in supermarkets.
It's that fucking sect of people, man. It's like the Michael Jackson sect, who's like, it should be fine to sleep in a bed with a kid. You know, it's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong, no sex or anything. And it's just like, yeah, but you don't understand social, you know, it's just no. We would prefer it if you didn't do that. And so would the parents of the children that you're putting in these beds. Yeah. I mean, I had a mate growing up who would read things like this.
Yeah.
The guy with the Harrier jump jet.
I know who you mean. Yeah.
Right, and his thing was, he's out of the blue one day, he said, you know, if a 12-year-old girl is flexing in a pub, you should be able to go up to the father and say, you know, your daughter's a really good gymnast. You know, and it's like, where did that come from? What's going on? And the guy would just punch you in the face because you're looking and leering at his daughter.
Yeah.
And he was going, no, but, you know, I'm not actually, it's not sexual. It's just, it's platonic. It's just, I've noticed that she would be a good gymnast. So I will tell her father so that her father will be more proud of her. And
it's a very interesting, forward-thinking way to commit suicide.
Well, it's just, you know, technically, you know, you're not doing anything wrong, so it's fine.
The trouble with that...
It's like, no, you're doing so much wrong, it's not in the spectrum that you're analysing.
Yeah, it's like, in actuality, you're not physically doing anything wrong, but you are asking so much trust from someone that has no idea who you are.
It's just, and what benefit are you getting out of this whole experience?
Why, yeah.
Like,
Why?
he wants to be complimented on complimenting this child.
Like, if you own a school for gymnasts, and you think they would benefit, or they would be of some benefit to your school, then go up to the parents and give them a card or something. Yeah, maybe, but when is that going to happen?
That's what you would be associating it with, is like, I'm looking for gymnasts, she's a gymnast.
Yes.
But in that example, I'm just a stranger looking at your daughter.
Yeah.
And I think she's pretty flexible.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, just fucking no. And that's the creepy. That's what makes it creepy. Is people are just unaware of that environment and unaware of their actions and what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he would find stuff like this, and he would go through the steps and be like, oh, I've done this. Like, one of his biggest accomplishments was getting his girlfriend to give one of his friends a blowjob. And it was like, well done.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking boyfriend of the year there, like, you really good guy. I mean, I'm sure it's love. It's nothing says love like adultery.
Sure, you had to try really hard to get her to betray your trust.
Yeah. And it's just, I think it's just people, they either want, I mean, everyone's different, and everyone deals with discovering that they're different in different ways, but finding out that you're different and then trying to be the embodiment of that difference can be kind of a sink or swim moment. Like, if you figure out that you love musicals and you want to go and write a load of musicals, that's kind of accepted.
Yeah.
If you like awkward social situations and enjoy making people awkward, you know, maybe it could be okay. But if you like perverting over everything, then you might need to know to keep it in check.
Yeah.
Time to time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the fucking social agreement that the world has, and you have to work together.
Yeah.
But, the creepy people just don't know. Like I said, like I always said, if I'm walking down a dark alley and a girl's walking towards me, I'm kind of aware that I should probably act as unthreatening as possible, whilst accepting that I'll probably be a little bit threatening.
Yeah.
So don't, like, yell out, I'm not going to kill you, or anything like that. It's just keep my mouth shut and maybe sing a song in a high-pitched voice, not like a, if you go down to the woods today...
Don't whistle slowly.
Fucking whistle the theme from Kill Bill. But yeah, some people just don't know that, don't get it, and so they just kind of...
I've got that thing. I can sort of say... I've had that thing of, like, walking past women and them, like, you get a sense that they feel a bit vulnerable, and I'll just spend that time just, like, looking at my phone or just... Just not...
But the creepy people, the thing that separates them is just, they just don't know... They're not self-aware, so they don't get it. Like, I'm going to have to start writing down all the shit I say on these podcasts, or at least start listening to them. Yeah, you know, so that I don't know. There was a guy I used to work with in a soft play centre, which my cousin owned. So I just needed some cash in hand work, and just it was like cafe, so like making drinks and food and whatever. And there was a guy there who was a twin. He had an identical twin, and they both worked there from time to time. And he had like a thick handlebar moustache. He was like 23, 24. He was American. And he had a really lame kind of action, limp handshakes and stuff like that. Just really fucking But he would tell me how he found out the way to make a woman love him. You know, like the Dennis system in fucking It's Always Sunny. Yeah. And his system, I'm confident I've said this before on the podcast, but anyway, I'll edit it out if I find it. His key was to tell his girlfriend that he's got to go and he's not sure if he's coming back. And no, it was to tell her that, you know, like 5 people die every day in this neighbourhood by getting hit by cars as they're crossing the street or in road traffic accidents. So I'm just going to go for a drive. And so you tell her some horrible news that's going to remind her of your mortality.
Yeah.
And then you slam the door as like a Derren Brown sound association thing.
Oh, God.
And then when you come in, you have to tell her more bad news. So like he's like Googled this way to make someone love him. Please, I need somebody to love me. I've given all the limp handshakes.
But it's not real. It's like how to induce Stockholm Syndrome.
It was just... like, just be... I mean, it's fucking cliche, but just be yourself, and maybe you'll find someone similar. Maybe they'll be an equally horrible person. Maybe they'll be an equally good person.
You'll get who you deserve.
But just, it's people looking for guides, and, like, what are you going to do if that fails? Like, complain.
Yeah.
Make a complaint to the dating website or whatever. But even fucking... I'm on Match.com at the moment, and I get notifications on my phone that tell me when any woman has looked at my profile.
Oof.
And the wording is like... Amy575 has just looked at your profile, look at hers and go find her. It's like, wow. That's
Quickly.
Pretty intense.
Quickly.
Yeah, it's like, now is your time to strike. It's like, okay. I mean, this might motivate some bad people to do some bad things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think dating advice as well is probably just a bit of a weird field anyway. I mean, nobody likes to think that love can be manufactured or people can be manipulated into emotion.
Yeah.
So there's that deterrence, but then there's also just the kind of weirdness of you don't naturally know how to interact with other human beings. No. You must be a psychopath.
At the end of the day, I can understand it because it's a kind of a strict set of circumstances and chemical reactions that cause you to feel the way you do about anyone and anything in any given situation. But the idea that we can, like, personally understand the complexity of that to a point where we can boil it down to applying it to any person is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's a skill. It's just a skill. Like, some people are good at talking to people.
Yeah.
Some people aren't.
Yeah.
They say the wrong thing, or they make the weird... They make strange body actions when they're doing things. Like, one of the early ones that I got told was, if you're going to shake someone's hand, put your hand all the way open, palm facing up. When you go to, like, oh, hey, how's it going? Because subliminally, that's meant to...
reaching out to them.
Be a thing of comfort, like, and they're an open, honest person, you know,
Yeah.
they've kind of got nothing to hide, or
But you hear
whatever
all of
it
this
is.
stuff and it's, like, contradictory. It's like, in some instances, like, using both hands to shake someone's hand is good. And then in others, it's like, using both hands can be intimidating and shouldn't be done. And, like, it's...
But like we said, you said earlier, like, I mean, a limp-wristed handshake is like a fucking horrible thing, and you don't know what to do in it. So it's just like it's the number one rule is don't do that.
Yeah.
And then don't do too strong. So there is like body language rules and stuff like that.
There was a guy that came to our work, and he was like a rep for a fitness company, and they make like outdoor fitness equipment. And he was a big dude, like he was a personal trainer, and he was a rep for this company. And he shook my hand, and he nearly broke my fucking hand. Like, and he didn't have like bare hands or anything like that. He just like fucking vice grip, and I'm like, that's not going to sell you many things. That's good. That's good. That's just going to leave me bruised.
Wow, this guy's hand is really strong.
Yeah.
I better buy his stuff.
Better buy his stuff for kids.
Get the kids nice and strong. But yeah, so there's definitely body language stuff, like tips and things that you can do to help. But it's just and people can tell if you're being fake.
Yeah.
If you're being forced. I mean, you can be really good at it or whatever, but there's a definite sense of something's off.
From my experience, like, it can take any kind of personality to attract anyone. All you really have to be is confident. Like, it's as long as you're confident about who you are, whether other people perceive that who you are to be a good or a bad thing, essentially you'll find the person that you're looking for. I think.
Well, it's just people look for lots of different things in people.
Yeah.
It's not, you say, it's not boilerplate. It's not just fucking there's one way to do everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something inherently creepy about trying to find out how to make someone love you. That's why I find the whole teaching women how to catch a man thing is like, that's so fucking insanely creepy to me.
Oh, we never caught up with that wanker, did we?
No, we should look it up. I should find out some more stuff for next week about it. But anyway, creepy people, look up for dating advice.
All right.
Giant pandas.
All right, I'm with you.
No longer listed as endangered. Big success. They're now only vulnerable. so their endangerment or extinction meter has been upgraded. So
Yeah.
they must have started having sex again, or they must have... I mean, you don't hear of pandas in the wild. I mean, there must be.
Well,
Somewhere.
I think
They can't
they're just-
all be in Edinburgh Zoo.
I think they're just not, like, native here. They're in Asia and China, aren't they?
Yeah, but are they wild? Are they, like, they
Yeah.
keep them wild? Yeah,
Yeah,
you
they live in the
assume so.
rainforests
Yeah, it must
over
be.
there.
But yeah, I assume because they were endangered, like, oh, they're in danger, so we put them all in a zoo or something. But you haven't seen that many in the wild. But either way, they must be reproducing.
Yeah, like the problem they have in captivity is they find it really hard to get them to reproduce, and they're saying, oh, they just don't fuck or whatever. They're just really picky, and I'm like, well, yeah, but if you dragged me from the wild and shoved me in a cage with some fucking heifer across the way, and we're like, okay, now fuck. And then I'm just surrounded by people just waiting for me to fuck this thing that I've never seen before, much less I'm attracted to. Like, I can understand maybe why, maybe they're just more sensitive than most animals to things like that. I don't know, but there was a theory that they stopped reproducing properly in the wild because of the destruction of their environment or something like that. So like they were actually kind of like. They're actually like managing their own numbers dependent on the size of the area that they had available to them, which is something that humans don't do.
All right, okay.
But then that's
Very higher intelligence.
Yeah,
of like, we haven't
exactly.
got the square footage for another
Exactly,
child.
exactly. Well, it's in fairness, it is a survival thing because you're like, I want to live for as long as possible. If I have a child in this instance, I can't because it's got to eat and I want to live, so fuck it.
It's gonna heal my fucking bamboo.
Yeah. But then, I don't know, that might all be bollocks. I'm not sure. But, I didn't realise that they were on the up.
Yeah, apparently. They've started making more of a presence. I don't know whether that's just because better TV's come out, whatever. Just like, stick around a bit
Something to
more.
stick around for.
Yeah, well, Better Call Saul Season 3, I mean, what's going to happen?
Dude, I haven't even finished Season 2 yet.
Season 2's awesome.
I stopped. I need to pick it back up again.
Once you watch Season 2, you'll be excited for Season 3.
Yeah.
It's been described, the best way it's been described to me is the best show, the most exciting show where nothing happened. Because it's fucking character based. It's brilliant.
Season 1 I was glued to start to finish. Season 2 I've had a little bit more trouble getting into, I think. But I think it's just because I just fell out of the habit and started watching other things.
On to more news. A French woman who underwent the world's first partial face transplant has died in hospital, aged 49, after a long illness. Isabelle Dinois, who lost her mouth and nose after a dog bite, not like dog bites.
Just one.
It's implied one dog bite took her mouth and nose.
Give me that!
I fetched it, didn't I? Made medical history in 2005 when she was given a partial face transplant using tissue from a brain-dead woman in a 15-hour operation. Dinois died in April. Le Figaro revealed, which was confirmed by doctors who said they had not previously announced her death to protect her family's privacy. Do the hospitals announce your death when you die? To the world?
Yeah, there's like, well, you go on like a register.
You get like a certificate.
Yeah, like doing like your 25 metres in swimming and stuff.
Yeah, they don't like step
Sponsored by
outside
Kiora.
the front of hospital on a podium.
No, it's not like
Diane has died!
Yeah. Diane, the woman with half a face, Jones.
Well, two halves of a face.
Two
because
halves
one
of a
was
face.
from a brain-dead woman, which is very important for some reason.
Oh.
I guess it means that she wasn't dead.
They have to point out that they didn't just go in the night and take some other woman's face.
Well, they just
while
didn't
she
want to
was
say
sleeping.
a dead woman. Like, oh, she was kind of alive. I mean, her face was alive, but her brain wasn't.
So, assuming let's pretend that it was the facial thing that caused her death. Would you rather live the rest of your life with half a face, or half the rest of your life with a full face?
I'd have my own half a face missing, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
I mean, forget the 5 steps to get a woman to take her earplugs out. Have half her face.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then try a big, confident, easygoing smile. See how far that goes.
Half a smile.
Now the smile will be there, just half the lips.
You're like Two-Face.
Well, the article goes on. She starts to talk. Doctors did not reveal the exact cause of death, but they did. But a newspaper reported that she rejected the transplant last year and lost part of the use of her lips.
It took 10 years to reject the transplant.
10 or 15.
So until then,
her
body was just like,
I kind of like it. It's kind of all right.
Sure. Maybe in summer I'll like the light better.
And what? So there's half her face, half of her mouth wasn't accentuating the words as much as the other one.
Yes.
For months before the transplant, she had, in quotes, the face of a monster, she said. She had no mouth, and her teeth and gums were exposed, skull-like, in a, in quotes, reminder of death. Most of her nose was missing, but she had no hatred for her dog Tanya, who she felt had been trying to save her at the time. So the dog...
Trying to pull her from a burning building by her face.
I love the idea that she was trying to console her dog, but couldn't quite get the words out because of the mangled face, and the dog had no idea what was going on and thought it did something bad. It's like, you know what, I forgive you. The dog's like, what do you want? You want me to sit down? You want me to lay down? What were you trying to say? I don't care that I ate half your face.
Yeah.
I'm completely cool with that. I'm a fucking dog.
We ran out of pedigree chum. You still had your face.
Yeah. I mean, you remember that time you shoved my nose in shit? I wasn't a fan of that. Now maybe you know how it feels.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Sorry, a no-facer.
Oh! Stands up on both legs, starts walking around. Oh!
Yeah.
It was through British press reports that she discovered her donor had killed herself. She said she felt a bond to her, in quotes, twin sister through their suicidal urges, and that it was someone who wanted to die like her. It's odd to know that she saved me, she said. After the transplant, she said she was determined to make a success of her life, learning to eat and speak, and also wanting to be able to kiss. I mean, learning to eat, I guess if you've got half a face, you have to eat differently. 2 years after the transplant, she described in a book that the hardest thing was accepting the inside of someone else's mouth. It was odd to touch it with my tongue. It was soft. It was horrible. Apparently she had a hard mouth before. She said the discovery of a hair on her chin, she said this, it was odd. I'd never had one. I thought, it's me that's given this hair life, but the actual hair belongs to my donor.
Right.
Sometimes I put my hand to my face to check that it's still there. So, she got half a face from someone that had a hair on it, and she got very baffled. I mean, it must be weird having someone else's face.
Yeah,
I'm not, gonna shit on her that much.
No.
You know, you have got someone else's face, so...
Yeah.
But, still, sucks. I mean, if your dog ripped half your face off, and you still love your dog, that's like the clingiest woman in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's
you
people who
have to have nobody else at that point. Right?
Yeah, a friend has to step in and be like, I think you should kill your dog. At least get rid of your dog.
Yeah.
It ate your face.
Yeah. It's like, it's fine. And just, opens the curtains to the back garden. There's just a pile of dead animals in there. And the dog's just like...
no face.
Yeah. Loads of animal faces all over the lawn.
How could you fucking trust it? Like, you couldn't watch certain films in front of it. You can't watch Hannibal Lecter in front of the dog.
Or Face Off.
Yeah, just like, I think we should change this. Don't want to give him any more ideas.
Cujo.
Cool. And lastly on my news list, something that I'm not convinced is real, but it might be real. It probably is. George Carlin is in the news.
Really?
Yeah, he's got a new special coming up. At the moment, brand new special.
Live from beyond the grave.
Yeah, it was a special...
I'm not against it.
It was a special that was recorded 15 years ago, 2001-ish, on September 10th, 2001.
Oh, right.
The day before September 11th.
Yeah.
And the title of it was... I want to get this exactly right.
Sorry. Never forget. Carry on.
Yeah. The original name of the special was I Kind of Like It When a Lot of People Die.
funny till the end.
And the next day, 3,000 people died. Also, apparently, in the show, he makes a joke that Osama bin Laden's flatulence could bring down a plane. And then the next day, fucking 3 planes or whatever, directed by Osama bin Laden, smash into New York.
I thought 9/11 was Osama bin Laden's coming out party. I didn't realise he was known before.
He was like a CIA agent before then. He
What?
worked for the CIA or something like that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Shit.
Like, well, the training that he was given by America was what was used against America, I believe. It might just be conspiracy shit, but I'm pretty sure that was pretty verified.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was probably beheading people or something at the time. But I mean, it was the day before. Maybe like he'd made a big press release.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way, some shit's happening.
Yeah.
Just wait a couple of days. You'll know my name. But yeah, fucking George Carlin, the legend.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when he passed, but it would have been after September. Well, it must have been
way
after
after.
September.
It was like 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, so it must have had. He had more specials since then.
Yeah.
I think. Well. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
yeah.
Well, I don't know
Yeah,
whether
he
he did it up. I think he did it up until his final year.
We did one every year.
Yeah, but I don't know if he did
Maybe.
it in his last year or whatever. But anyway, the guy's a fucking hilarious, amazing, comedy-changing kind of guy. And, it's just so fucking perfect that he records a special the day before 9/11 called I Kinda Like It When a Lot of People Die.
Yeah.
About Osama bin Laden and plane crashes. Like... What was his fucking reaction to the whole thing? Was someone at my show? Just thought that show was really good and that Osama bin Laden could bring down a couple of fucking jet planes. Let's do this.
I like to think that, so September 11th hits and, everything goes down. And he kind of feels bad about it, but at the same time he kind of wants to be a dick. So he's got studio execs calling him up all the time, being like, hey, so we really can't do this now. And he's like, why? Why not? Why?
What, you think I had something to do with this? I'd had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Let's go from hippy-dippy weatherman to, 9/11.
To the 9/11 denial.
It's fucking, he went from being, real straight, mad-men-y kind of man in a suit doing... straight jokes that weren't too wacky, then to hippy-dippy weatherman, then to terrorist. So yeah, I don't know how true that is, but we'll find out because apparently it's coming out soon, and obviously that'd be fucking brilliant to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Because George Carlin's awesome to watch anyway, but to watch something knowing that the next day a lot of his jokes are going to be taken very badly if they were to be released would be quite funny.
I haven't watched that Joan Rivers thing, actually. Wasn't there a thing about her doing a set the day after 9/11 or something like that?
Yeah, well, I know that, I don't know, was it the day after?
All shows in New York were pretty much cancelled for a week, 2 weeks, for a while.
Well, I don't know. I think there were still shows going. I mean, there must have been some
she
kind
had
of fallout.
the first
there were
show
still
after 9/11.
She definitely
in New
had
York.
the first big joke about 9/11, the first one that came out, and her joke was about I think it was 3,000 people died. Say 1,500 of those were women. 3 out of 4 marriages fail.
Yeah.
All the families of the victims got $1 million. All I'm going to say is there was one woman at home hating her husband, about to break up with him and couldn't figure out the words and was fucking glorified happy when the plane hit. And then the second plane hit. And she was like, yes, thank you, God. So it was a joke in that kind of vein that she got quite famous for,
Yeah.
She started doing a show, I think it was called In Bed with Joan Rivers, where she interviewed people from bed.
Yeah.
She was in bed with them,
Yeah.
Apparently Joe Rogan was meant to do one, but she died before he got a chance to use
Yeah,
business.
was that last year that she died? It wasn't this year, was it?
Quite recently, but at least last year, maybe the year before.
Yeah.
But she was very offensive to a lot of people, but people didn't mind because she was an old lady. So for some reason it was fine for them, but bad for
she was
younger
already
communities.
kind of a legend at that point. She'd been around for a long time.
Yeah. I guess it's like Jim Jeffries said, however famous you are, the more famous you are, the more likely you can be accepted as a paedophile. Charlie Chaplin,
Yeah.
Elvis, And then, the guy who wrote that American football song, Gary Glitter, was like, your song's all right, but you're still a paedophile. So.
But it doesn't work if you're really famous for being a paedophile.
Well, Bill Cosby, like, people didn't believe it. He's come out and admitted it.
Yeah.
It's like, I imagine they still deny it, but...
Yeah.
You know.
His thing was rape, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't a paedophile. Yeah, he was...
Different
he was
ball games.
Wasn't even a date rapist. He didn't go on dates with them. He just drugged them.
He didn't bother taking them out.
No. Didn't even... I was going to say he didn't even buy him a drink, but that's...
He wasn't a complete non-gentleman. But yeah, that's most of the stuff that I've got this week.
Cool. We got onto Stalin at some point last week.
Yeah.
I think. And
about the most evil dictators or something.
Yeah, and for some reason I started... I went into a little bit of a history hole, and I found this fucking badass shit. Like, it wasn't him. It was someone he was warring with. It was, President Josip Broz Tito.
Tito!
Tito! Yeah, spelled T-I-T-O, so yeah, it's perfect. It was like just after World War II, Stalin wanted Tito to join as like a satellite state to Russia, which is like, he wanted to join Yugoslavia.
Right.
I guess in the same way that like Georgia and maybe Ukraine were for a while or something like that. Tito said no. It was like, as a matter of national pride, we want to retain our national identity and all of that. And the Soviets said it's like an act of disloyalty and stuff. Act of disloyalty to the USSR. Anyway, there was like some bad blood, but they were just kind of like both went their separate ways a little bit. But in secret, Stalin started sending assassins like to kill Tito, and like it just. And they couldn't get the job done for some reason. And in Stalin's personal effects after he died was a letter from Tito saying, "Stop sending people to kill me. We've already captured 5 of them, one of them with a bomb, another one with a rifle. If you don't stop sending killers, I'll send a very fast-working one to Moscow, and I certainly won't have to send another." Click.
Stop.
Yeah, and that was found in his personal effects, so maybe it worked.
His personal effects next to his backstabbed body.
Yeah. And I got into another one about Genghis Khan. I don't know why. It was just History Week this week, I guess. And like, so Genghis Khan, he sent. I can't remember any of the place names or any of this shit. It's just lots of long words that I can't seem to memorize. So he sent. There was a big state, and he sent like a group of like 500 caravans to them because he was like, this would be a good state to set up trades with. And they didn't like Genghis, and they said no, and they killed a bunch of people on them and then sent them back. And Genghis was like, okay, I still want to trade, let's try some more. So he sends some like important senators and figures and stuff down there, and then they were like, no, and they cut the heads off and sent them the heads. So he was like, okay. And then he sent 100,000 soldiers down there, wiped out the city, like burnt it to the ground, found the people leading the city, poured boiling silver into their eyes and ears, like to kill them off, and then re-diverted a river to take out the city.
I'm going to learn how engineering works, and agriculture, and architect like my own kind of river weapon. Use it to wash you away from history.
Exactly. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
kill you with a river.
Yeah. That's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. You just don't get that stuff anymore.
You don't get that kind of ambition or dedication.
No, exactly, because
we're so over-medicated as a society.
We've got planes and bombs and shit. Like, bombs are boring compared to re-diverting a river.
But I wonder, the river must have been done after everyone was killed, because I think they would have gotten the impression that something was going wrong when a river was being built towards them.
Well, I think I would imagine like this the place that they were flooding was like within a valley or like something like that, so they could literally just re-divert it at one point, and the water would just flow naturally towards it, so they wouldn't have to like build like build a river. It's like, what are you doing? You'll see.
Oh, this is the new Victoria line we're putting in, new underground line. So really good, be great. Is it waterproof? Oh yeah, it is.
It's weatherproof. Yeah. Okay. UK shop owners demand to go back to selling in ounces and pounds after Brexit.
Okay.
Shop owners are demanding the right to sell produce in pounds and ounces after Brexit. Current EU laws state that the sale of goods must be in kilograms and grams, and imperial units can only be used as a supplementary indication. So they can like put it on the label and shit, but you can't be like, this is a pound, and that's it.
Poundland would be very different if that was the case.
Yeah. This is, in 2000, to comply with European legislation, the government made it a criminal act for a greengrocer to sell a pound of bananas. It's the exact wording of the article, which is fucking stupid. Like, it's the Independent. I expected a bit more of them, but it's like, it's illegal to sell a pound of bananas. All right, the Sun. It's a
criminal act.
Exactly. It's like, it's not illegal to sell a pound of bananas. It's illegal to label it incorrectly, or whatever. We thought this was outrageous then, and we think it's outrageous now. And with our exit from the EU, the legal basis of compulsory metrification will be replaced. It's now time to restore freedom of choice.
Freedom of confusion.
Exactly.
Freedom of lack of uniform when it comes to measurement.
Peter Bone, a Tory MP, described the idea as being first class and said he hopes the government embraces it. All right, so there's 3 countries in the world that don't use the metric system. That's it. 3. Right, okay. The US, that's a big one. That's like... I think that's like 14% of our trade in total comes from the US. The other 2 are Liberia and Myanmar.
What? Myanmar?
That's it. Yep.
They got a trade agreement with Turkmenistan or something.
Yeah, another flag with poo.
Well, first of all, don't trust someone who describes a movement as first class. I don't trust anyone who measures the success of something or the likelihood of something or the love of something using postage. I think if it's not next day delivery, it's not worth doing.
Yeah.
Like, first class is no longer first class. First class is like, that's the 4th choice on your list.
All these fucking EU laws with their postage-based metaphors.
I want a plan to be, on a Saturday before 9. Before I even consider fucking getting on board with that.
I think it's an arriving tomorrow between 8 and 5 kind of idea.
Personally, I think left with a neighbour or in a safe place would probably be the kind of tier 1. At least you're getting it eventually.
Yeah. But they were like, they said, the US is our biggest trade partner, and they still use like pounds and ounces and shit. It's ridiculous that we ever had to change. It's like, they're our biggest individual trade partner, which comprises 14% of our trade. So fuck everyone else, apparently. Fuck China. Fuck Japan. They have a completely different language system, but we've still managed to agree to use the same weights and measures. But fuck it, because we want to go back to the old way. Yeah, that's the side of the whole Brexit thing that I fucking hated.
It's the fight that you're just like, why are you fighting for this?
Exactly. You're deciding to confuse all future generations, as well as the ones now who've grown up with pounds and ounces, so that you can live in the past for another 20 years until you die. That's it. That's the be all in it. That's the side of the whole Brexit thing that I didn't like. The people that thought it was going to we're going to go back to how it was. It was like, well, that doesn't exist anymore, and we're all very confused about it. Yeah, but So that's the end of that one.
But just for the little fucking, I mean, there is an element of implied patriotism when it comes to things like that, where it's like the British pound.
It's the fact that it's called imperial.
It's just like, I don't like these kilograms.
Yeah.
I like to have ounces. I'd rather do an ounce of cocaine than a kilo.
Yeah. It makes no fucking sense to me at all. I don't get it. The only thing I do get is pound and stone. Kind of.
No, but it's just it's just a unit of measurement. It's like a product changing its name from Sif to Jif.
Yeah.
Fucking Jack D's bit. And you just go, well, Who cares
It's
about
still
what
the
the
same-
name used to be called?
Yeah, it's still the same thing. So what are you gaining from this? Like, yeah.
I don't like calling it the People's Front of Judea. I think we're the Judean People's Front.
Yeah.
I think we've always have been. And it's just,
Yeah. All right. I decide. Yeah, I had to do this in an Australian accent. It's from an Australian newspaper, but it's about Iceland, and I think only their accent
clinches it.
Yeah, kind of. Well, it just captures the whole sarcasm about the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay. Iceland unearths rock to appease angry elves. The angry elves were suspected of causing a series of mishaps after the rock was covered over when workers cleared away the debris from a landslide. The Morgan-Blooded Daily reported. Morgan-Blooded Daily. Morgan-Blooded, one word, daily.
Every day.
Yeah. Iceland is no stranger to bending to the will of its elfin population. Construction sites have previously been moved so as not to disturb the creatures, and fishermen have refused to go to sea because of their warnings. In Iceland, elves are a part of everyday life.
They're giving warnings to sailors. Don't sail here. It's fucking elves.
Sven Zoffanasian, who works in Base Road Construction Company, told the paper that his woes began in 2015, August, when Sigvald de Dieu, I think that's the name, close to the side of the so-called Elfin Ladystone that was covered with the earth, following efforts to clear a mudslide from a highway. After the landslide was cleared, the road was subsequently flooded, and a colleague of Zoffanasian, I can't say these fucking names, who came to clear the route was injured. Then industrial machinery began to fail, and journalists came over to cover the growing chaos, fell into a mud pool, and had to be pulled to safety. Nobody even thought of the rock, said Zoffanasian. Even though the area is regarded as sacred and a place of local folklore. The decision was made that Iceland Road Administration would unearth the rock, an artefact according to a 2012 law to protect Iceland's elfin heritage, and it was subsequently cleaned with a pressure washer last week. Elves are described by hundreds of people who claim to have seen them as simple, normally peaceful creatures that look like humans but smaller. In 1971, elves reportedly disrupted construction of a national highway from Reykjavik to the northeast. The project suffered repeated, unusual technical difficulties because it was claimed elves did not want the large boulder that served as their home to be moved to make way for a new road.
Lived in the boulder.
Yeah.
These small creatures that some people have seen say they kind of look like humans and they live in a boulder
Right.
in the middle of the road.
That's pretty much the end of that. There are two things that I noticed about the story. One, all of these stories are construction related. All of the problems with the elves. Two, Iceland is built on natural volcanoes. So, are they just like bad at construction, or have they just chosen a really shit place to build their island? Like, is it not just the fact that you built your island on active volcanoes? Is maybe that the problem? Where the president's just like, elves!
We love
be
our
elves.
country, we love our volcano, we love our elves. So the elves that cause all these
It was
problems.
the elves, yeah. How fucking gullible is the foreman on the first site? It was like, the president was like, it's elves. Oh, really?
All right, then. If it's elves,
All right.
it's elves.
Right, I'll tell the people.
Yeah. Pass that message on to the fishermen, because they'll want to know about the elves as well.
Yeah, the fishermen. The sea's also affected by active volcanoes.
I mean, the magma fields are growing. And that's what the elves like.
Yeah. I don't know why at some point they leapt to just elves as a conclusion. It's not like there were cave paintings of people with pointy ears or something. It's just like shit started to go down and they were like, probably the elves. What? Yeah. You know.
Yeah, you know, elves.
Yeah.
Live in a rock.
Yeah. It's fucking stupid. Alright. Organisers of a puppet festival apologise for a song about prison rape.
Apologise to who? Was it in prison?
No, it was a puppet festival out in public. Organisers of a puppet festival in Verdun, is in Canada, apologised for a song about prison rape that was performed in front of many small children on a public stage over the weekend. Lyrics include, "You're my prison bitch, I'll never say goodbye, you're not like the others, too bad they had to die."
It was like a prison visitor centre. And now we have a picnic, so you can have your inmate father have some time with your kid, and you slowly let your kid know that you get raped. No one likes to know that through song.
No, no. Well, they've said it was like a programming error. Like, we knew about it.
Programming error. It was a puppet.
Yeah. No. Programming as in the people who were, like, organising the festival.
Oh, okay.
Like,
it wasn't a cyborg performing a puppet show.
He's become sentient and started yelling obscenities. So, most of the show was put on by a troupe called Cabaret Decadence. Wasn't inappropriate, but the prison bitch song seemed to come out of nowhere. My son's only 3. He found the tune catchy, one parent said. I think older children would understand more and maybe walk away singing the song. It's disturbing. Promenade Wellington. There's a guy called Promenade.
Fucking street.
Promenade Wellington, the festival organisers, said it was made a mistake by allowing the song to be performed. The situation is the result of several errors that occurred, and as organisers, we have to assume the blame. The statement continued. We sincerely apologise that it was uncomfortable for parents, and we're sorry that we lacked vigilance about the content of the show. Yes, the artists have judged this to be inappropriate because there were children in the audience, but we should have caught this before it became an issue. Performers did not return interview requests on Tuesday, but Cabaret Decadence puppeteer Serge Delorier fucking stupid, told CBC that he had informed the festival organiser that the performance was adult-oriented and scheduling the group at an all-ages event was a mistake. So the festival organisers were aware of the prison bitch song and subsequently played it at 3 p.m.
Right after Punch, during Punch and Judy.
It's great. It's one thing for for like the adults to be like singing it and like in a show and stuff, because kids aren't really interested in adults. But if you're watching Sesame Street,
but you got it was live.
Yeah.
So, like, the performers probably saw that there were kids there.
Yeah.
And they weren't like, oh, should we double check? They're like, hey, they booked us. We're going to rock this joint. Prison bitch!
Yeah.
Prison bitch!
It said there were kids dancing on the stage. Like, come on.
Everybody!
You know the words. Yeah, that's what I've got for this week.
Yeah, it's cool. Creativity-wise. We've both been editing the previous week. You said you're nearly done with yours.
Yeah,
you've done the technical side, but not the artistic side.
I shall have that finished this evening.
Yeah, I should be finishing that one as well, and we'll do the whole comparing side to it. But yeah, I've had a week off and my brain has just kind of completely gone dormant. I've just been sleeping, catching up on sleep, ready for getting back into the world next week. But the lazy part of my week is now over. Yeah, we were talking earlier about fucking not turning on the light switch. I couldn't be bothered to reply to a text.
For 3 days.
I'll do it later. So I was completely off the planet. To the point where I came back from, even when I came back from our weekend away, you had to do like, has anyone seen Nick? Has anyone spoken to him?
Well, I have to double check that you're not dead these days.
Yeah, there's everything fine. There'll be like an angry letter or something if I'm going to die. It's just sprawled along, paint on the outside of the house. Steve, you prick. Who's this Steve with a number written on? Bring him, tell him he's a prick. Yeah, so my brain's kind of been completely dormant, so not as much productivity as needed, but pushing forward for next week. It's going to be a big week. Yeah, set up the beginnings of my website. I want to have something live by something actually with something on it by next week. And yeah, able to go through all the old podcasts now and want to be able to get them all done with my time off. So see what I can come up with there. Should be good. Any new bits you want to put on? Or you're still doing your one video a week?
Yeah. I haven't.
You upped the production on it. You said
yeah.
did a bit more.
It's the second time I've done
camera angles and
yeah.
Well, this was the first one with 2 camera angles or 3 camera angles.
Yeah, three angles, and I used the recorder and like the different things on the audio as well.
Right.
So yeah, up in the production, like trying to just kind of like get this aspect polished before I start like adding new things. Like now I'll have to do this every week as well. Like just trying to, yeah, get this as good, get the whole song thing as good as I can, and then carry on from there. Okay. But yeah, no, I've done a chunk this week.
Yeah, sweet. And then yeah, just figuring out how much work you want to do on your one video a week.
Yeah.
Taking it as far as it can go, and then figuring out whether you can maintain that or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play. So yeah, I think next week will be a big week.
Yeah.
A big week of having stuff done. And
yeah.
Being right, okay, cool. I've started back at work and back into doing normal things.
Yeah. We need to figure out when you want to go live. Do you want to do it when we can both put it on at the same time, or do you want to?
I'm happy whenever.
Yeah.
We'll be back there. If we get this week or last week's episode edited and stuff, and you want to go live,
yeah,
then you want to put it on your website, that's fine.
Cool.
I'll eventually pop it online, and then Twitter maybe. Twitter thing.